government build the country for we. Custom money does buy medicine and pay salary. Build roads, fix schools, improve the economy. But the government abusing its authority by imposing heavy custom duties on we. Our custom charges are so high that some of us have to deal in smuggling to survive. And some can't afford the price of groceries because of we heavy custom duties. Well, even an apple is unaffordable because custom duty bleeding with people. Oh, see you, madam, mashallah. Puchi mashadi shekosa. You got the custom kitesa. Custom kitesa. Oh, see you, madam, people class. Puchi on what is shekosa. You got the custom kitesa. Custom kitesa. To make business better in we country, bring down we custom duties. As a will quasi for the farmers in this country, give them concession across university. We begging for mercy, custom duty go kill me. I said to court the import charges for 90 free.
So who remembers that one? Who remembers that one? Hey, King Bob, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Nothing like a little sweet calypso music on a Monday night.
Especially a classic like that one, huh?
Yes, yes, yes. So we are here today so you can tell us all about the Calypso Day, which is on this Thursday. So we're going to have a blast this Thursday. We're just going to go all out with Calypso. So welcome everyone who's joining us on the Facebook Live. We encourage you to share the live as we come here to celebrate our Calypso music with the 2021 King, King Bob, and he's just stopping by to tell us all about Calypso Day on Thursday. So King, how are you? How is your reign going for 2021?
So far so good. The thing about a rain, I think it is incumbent on a reigning Calypso monarch, especially a reigning Calypso monarch, to do things that would lift the value of his monarchy. I think you need to contribute something, you need to contribute ideas, you need to be out there and peddling the works, to ensure that you bring some level of change, enhancement, increased value to the calypso, the whole art form itself, the expression. And this is why once I am monarch, I try to take on something new. When I was first monarch, I decided to sponsor 4 children. And
I remember that.
yeah, I made that commitment for the rest of my life. 4 children that I'm still in contact with and working with the limited resources. Then this time around, I decided that we need to do something special for Calypso because the thing about it is that Calypso, I think, is quote unquote under attack. The genre is kind of under attack, and not just in Dominica, in most of the region, even Trinidad, where soca music has gained such a great portion of the market. And it's really happening in Dominica as well, where we see soca music and dancehall and so on is played more on the radio more than our calypso, even more than our bouillon. And I think this is something that we in the calypso fraternity we need to be wary of and start to come up with creative ideas. So I decided that I will share my platform with the Calypso Association. My platform this year, one of the things I intend to take on is to name a Calypso Day in the year where there will be strictly Calypso music played. There'll be Calypso discussion. Everything in the media will be about Calypso. To give the people who love Calypso and the Calypsonians some level of pride that we have a day where we can celebrate Calypso. And I decided the first idea was to do it on my birthday, which has gone. But when I decided to talk to the association, because I need the endorsement of the Calypso Authority in Dominica, which is the Calypso Association, which fortunately I'm the secretary of. So when we spoke about it, we decided, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to do it so soon. The time is too short. Let us put it like a month, a little more than a month down the line. So it would have been the 21st of April. And the whole idea was just to create a consciousness about Calypso, just to make sure that people understand the importance of the art form. And by doing so, you just basically have the radios play Calypso's 24 for 24 hours for the day on the 27th from midnight to midnight. And during the day, people would trend the calypso. You trend videos, like a video you're playing, some post that online, and people would just say congratulations to the DCA, congratulations to a past king, congratulations. Just say something, have some kind of calypso discussion with trending calypso. Like once upon a time, we did something called trending Dominica, and that was very nice. I think calypso can benefit from that to create that awareness, to energize people in the art form once again. And this is basically what the day was intended to be, just to ensure that there is calypso and to lift people's consciousness. Because another direction I would like the conversation about calypso to go into is that calypso is not just about the music. Calypso is really a culture that we live. Calypso is part of our development. Calypso is part of our emancipation as a free people. So a quote unquote free people, which is another discussion we can go into.
Altogether.
But the whole idea is to make people understand that it is that culture of sing and dance against the system that emancipated us from the slavery
Hmm.
that we knew, that our ancestors suffered for our own freedom. And so it's not just about the music, it's really a culture of defiance and so on. And that's where I want the discussion to go eventually. But for now, the focus is on the music, the focus is on making sure that people enjoy Calypso, recognize the contributions of King Hurricane, the contributions of the kings who have gone way back, and how far
Hmm.
Dominica has gone with its Calypso.
Yeah,
And
so you talk
Dominica has
about
done very well.
Yeah, you talk about raising consciousness, but what else are you hoping to accomplish? I would think that one of your goals is to have Calypso played on the radio more in general. Because, for example, today is Pentecost Monday, it's a holiday in Dominica. We should be blasting Calypso all day. And, I listen to the radio, and, granted, I didn't listen all day, so I can't say, I never heard a Calypso played today. But I listened most of the day, and I was expecting to hear a whole lot more Calypso on the radio. So I'm assuming that is one of your goals, to have Calypso played more often on the radio. And I want us to have a little bit of a discussion as to why you think that it seems like the mics go down on Calypso after Carnival.
Well, okay, first of all, the whole idea is generally to get people to appreciate Calypso more. And
Hmm.
by doing so, we will hear Calypso more often. We will hear Calypso played more at the shops and so on. Once we raise people consciousness. So the idea is to raise the consciousness of the people and have everybody participate on their own, do their own things. The DCA is not going to control you. Like Swinging Stars has taken on its own to do that show on the 27th, which is a fantastic idea. We will talk more about the participation of people and how the day is not enough. But yes, the idea, once we raise the consciousness of the people, we expect that the radios will play, people will call and request songs. DJs will feel that it's a responsibility of theirs to play calypso, because calypso is a very domestic type of art form, and the people love it. The amount of people who have asked to get involved and shared ideas on the about the calypso day, it tells that calypso is very important to our hearts. However, carnival and calypso being in the center, the main, well, it has been the main attraction for in carnival, during the carnival season. The main show, the biggest show that people come to during the season for many years, has been calypso. And the carnival now, the carnival is tied with the Catholic calendar. That is why carnival will always be Monday and Tuesday, Ash Wednesday. Every year it stops, it ends on the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday.
Hmm.
And Ash Wednesday is a time when people go into a very strong sense of reverence. It's the beginning of Lent, and all the revelry is silenced. So you have the radio stations now, being a very strong Catholic nation that we are in Dominica. the radios tend to follow the line of the moral line of the church. So if it's you're supposed to stop reveling on Tuesday at whatever hour, and then Wednesday is a day when you go for your ash, and then you go into Lent, and you fast. You fast off many things, be it alcohol and the other things, many other things that people indulge in. You rid yourself of that. You win yourself of that for a little while. So Calypso and our festive music takes that blow, has taken that blow over the past few years, and that is the reason why it has it's because of the seasonal nature of the, well, because of that it has become a very seasonal cultural expression, which does not work very well for the art form, because it cannot just be just 3 months in the year that you have calypso, so this is something that we really hope we can break away from, not breaking away from the carnival being part of the church calendar, because carnival is really a church feast, it's
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
carnival. I remember
Mm-hmm.
one day this he did a
Uh-huh.
sermon and he was explaining that
Right.
and stuff. So it's that fasting period that causes calypso to suffer, and we don't want to break away from. I don't believe in breaking away from something that has run so many years successfully
Tradition.
and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
the idea of creating a calypso day outside of the Lenten season, when everything has just gone really kind of quiet, is to raise the consciousness, and to so my I want to announce early that I think next year we'll have the Calypso Festival that
Mm-hmm.
on Calypso Day, which is the point I almost alluded to earlier on when I said that the day is not enough for everybody
Mm-hmm.
to participate meaningfully and wholly and solely. So what we're hoping is that it will begin on Calypso Day and go into the weekend and end on Sunday. So we'll have
Yeah.
different shows. For instance, just
Yeah.
imagine in this small economy and stuff, if Swinging Stars and three other bands was doing a Calypso show, what it would be
Mm-hmm.
like. All three would
Mm-hmm.
have suffered. So if we
Mm-hmm.
have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, different shows on all these days, and we have Calypso discussions, we have a Calypso summit, and so on, then it gives more meaning to the whole idea of the Calypso.
Yeah,
We get a
absolutely.
Calypso festival.
Yeah, and we have quite a few people on the live, so we're thankful for everyone who's joining us. Hi, Roslyn, always lovely to see you from New York, and we're looking forward to hearing from you on the topic of why do we think calypso is more prevalent at carnival time, and then it seems to get less played during the year. And Bob, I think that is a great suggestion, a great idea that you're proposing to have a festival during the year, because one of the thoughts that came to my mind while you're speaking is maybe we are too attached to having calypso associated with carnival. So
Yeah.
once carnival is over, then in our mind, well, it's time to put calypso away. But maybe if we have maybe some sort of competition in the middle of the year,
Right.
just
Right.
something maybe every quarter,
Mhm.
to just because the songs are so great, Bob,
Yeah.
and
Most of
then
them
to
are.
not have them played during the year, the next time you hear them is when Calypso is coming around again for the next year. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
It is. It is. It is. So the idea of this event is to raise the consciousness and get people back into the calypso mode. Then, I'm with the hope that maybe a year from now or 2 years from now, we'll identify some, well, even much less than that, we'll identify something that we can do in the month of maybe October, November, to pick it up again, and then we go quiet to start with the calypso competition that usually starts somewhere late December or early January. So you have enough calypso activity throughout the year, and that is what calypso is missing at this point in time, most definitely. And there's no doubt in my mind we need more calypso activity, and calypso activity does not have to be festivity, in terms of a lot of music and people dancing and so on. The education aspect of it is so important. It's very, very important that people understand why there is calypso. Why
Mm-hmm.
is calypso so much about social activities and social and life in general?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there so much politics in calypso? At one time, why was there so much religion in calypso? Well, religion in
Yes.
terms of addressing issues to do with the churches and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really the cry of the people. It's a domestic art form, domestic expression, and it is there to address issues in the social and socioeconomic life of everybody. So
Mhm.
that is why it is what it is. But we're coming back to the point there. It takes a hard blow immediately after carnival because it just
Yeah.
follows the church calendar, and then the radios cannot play calypso well, cannot quote unquote um play much calypso after from Ash Wednesday for 40 days. By then you lose the taste of the songs, and so by the time Easter comes around, and one thing I've noticed is that this soca music doesn't really stop playing.
But I was just about to say that because we have Sam Hill on the live with us. He's Sam George from TDN Radio. You'll know him well,
Of
and
course.
that's exactly his point. He says this never really made sense. You can't play calypso after carnival, but you can play soca, R&B, and all other music.
Yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense. And then our performers, our artists, are taking the blow.
Absolutely. So,
So
it's consciousness again. Coming back to teaching the people, yo, this is important to you. It's important to. It creates it's the artist's livelihood. Why
yes.
shut it down? Why shut it down?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's generally the idea, and the
Yeah,
assistant will
yeah,
have.
and here's something else I'm thinking because our DJs are the gatekeepers of the music. So
Absolutely.
have we heard from them at all in terms of why even after the 40 days the other music take control, but then we don't really hear calypsos play. As a matter of fact, Bob, I'm just gonna be honest with you. During the year, if I'm listening to the radio and I hear a calypso, I'm like, oh, okay, yes, that was a really good song. I haven't heard that song in months. So,
Yeah.
as the gatekeepers of the music, and like Rosalind just said, isn't Trinidad Calypso played during the year? So, as the gatekeepers to the music, how have you heard anything from the DJs why they are not playing Calypso during the year? Any feedback from them?
Well, I know for sure there are some DJs in Dominica. For instance, I'll single out Wadix. Wadix
Yes,
is a very avid Calypso supporter, Calypso fan, Calypso promoter. He promotes
hmm
all genres of music of
it
Dominican
does.
music, and I want to give him that. I really wish that there will be at least one or two other DJs who will emulate DJ Wadix, because DJ Wadix has so much value, and he
Yes.
brings so much value because he keeps the archives, and when he releases them, it's just very special. And I don't know, for some reason many of the other younger DJs just seem to be serving Trinidad culture. I'll say that
Mm,
boldly. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. For instance, I've seen a DJ release a mix of soca music using a video mix, but the images are images of Dominica, the waterfalls, the forest and all that, which makes absolutely no sense. There's one song in there that's a Dominican song,
wow.
but you have Trinidad music being promoted on Dominican imagery, and it was just weird. So it I don't know. It comes back to the point, maybe education again, that
Yeah.
trying to understand that you don't cut your nose to spite your face. You don't put
hmm
yourself in the foot. You have to understand your responsibility. But as to the participation of the DJs, coming back to your question, guys like DJ Waddick, some of the more senior DJs, they take it a
hmm
lot more seriously. They are very enthusiastic about the idea. They want to participate and so on. I have not really heard from the younger, quote unquote, soca
And
DJs.
I'm telling you, Bob, you are so right because I listened to Wadix on a Saturday afternoon, and I mean, he is blazing
Yeah.
Dominica music all day long. And I don't know where Wadix gets his energy from, but he is on fire for all those hours. And he's done a fantastic job with promoting your event on Thursday. I mean, Saturday, every couple of minutes, he kept mentioning, don't forget Calypso Day on Thursday. So for anyone who's just joining us, we're speaking to Calypso King Bob, and he's here to tell us about Calypso Day on Thursday. And we're just kind of brainstorming as to how we can make Calypso music more popular on the radio past Carnival. So if you have any suggestions, we're looking forward to hearing from you. And let's see, I think Rosalind said another thing, maybe the lyrics although very good and catchy, but how do you present the lyrics? And I think that's a good point because a lot of times the lyrics of the songs with the political theme and with carnival being associated with, the politics and the music of the politics, I think that could be a point as well. But then again, if you remove that, you take away the value of Calypso. So it's
Well,
a double-edged sword, Bob.
well, I still want to support Rosalind by adding this, that Calypso does not have to be political all the time if we want it to exist beyond the season. I mean,
Mhm.
the more potent calypsos, competitive calypsos, are those with that address political issues. They address the
Mhm.
pressing issues in the country, and sometimes it's the politics that is maybe more under scrutiny, so to speak. So they are the
Mhm.
potent ones, those that address that is what wins us crowns basically. But
Right.
at the same time, I want to say that Calypso can be a lot more enjoyable than just that. If the producers of Calypso, the writers and the producers, can do something special with the beat, and
Mhm.
you know, I have done some of those things. When I did some nice songs that were not political, and to tell the truth, I never really heard them on the radio. Yeah, so
Hmm.
so but we still need to do more of that to promote calypso being outside of just competition. Calypso, you can have
Mhm.
a nice dancey calypso on a love theme or whatever the case may be. Sparrow did very well doing that. So I
Yeah.
want to support folks that say that calypso can be diversified and and attract different markets and to exist. But the calypsos that really draw people are those that are the competitive ones, those that address the issues in a very, very stinging way, and
Mhm.
so on. Go and love your neighbor, and
Right, right.
but
Hmm.
but yet you can have some nice mild calypsos.
Yeah,
Baron did
and
very well
then
in his career doing that in Trinidad.
yeah, and then how about a fusion? Maybe Calypso and Booyah mix, have a Calypso artist and a Booyah artist put a track together. So that way during the year you're reminded, hey, oh, he's a Calypsonian, Bob and I don't know, Shelly.
Well, yes, 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 yes. But I still find collaboration in Dominica is one of the hardest things to achieve. For some reason, artists and they're just not really interested in collaborating with other local artists. I think their dream is to collaborate with the Marshall Montanos and the
Wow.
Patrice Roberts and so on. The dreams that are set so high that by the time it's not that they're not attainable, they are attainable, but at the same time, um, sometimes you need to start from your own grassroots level, so it's really hard to get that common understanding among artists that collaboration is one of the ways that we could help develop our industry.
Hmm.
So, I just want to give
It's
my
tough, but it's tough. But I think what you're doing is a great idea, and I think you should consider doing it. Like maybe, and I know there's an economic restraints and all that, but I think there should be something maybe 4 times a year, right after Lent, Easter time.
yeah.
Bam, you bring back. You have a small event or something. Then in the summertime, maybe a beach party. Now that the world is opening again in October, and then in December, because December is really the beginning of the Calypso season
Right,
anyway.
that's it.
And Sam reminds us, and he's very true, that TDN Radio, we play Calypso all year round. As a matter of fact, my program Untapped Potential tomorrow at 5:30, I'll be playing some Calypso. So I don't just play bouillon, we
Nice.
play Calypso all year round. So we're very supportive of the industry.
I'm very appreciative of that, Sam, you and Simone and the rest of you all at TDN. I'm very
Mhm.
appreciative of that on behalf of the other Calypsonians in Dominica, the Dominican people, for keeping their culture alive. I'm very
Yeah.
happy that you take your responsibilities as well in promoting what is
It
yours.
is a responsibility as a radio personality. It's a responsibility to promote our culture because why else would we be on the radio if we're going to promote Trinidad music instead of promoting our own?
Exactly.
But we're a Dominica radio station.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about the actual day again for anyone who joined us late. Tell us what we can expect from 12 a.m.
Yeah,
to 12 the next day. So just kind of
yeah.
walk us through the program, and I'll pull up the flyer as well while you do so.
Yeah. So, Simon, the idea was basically to create, to, as I said earlier, to drive the consciousness of the people, to make them understand and spend time absorbing the music, consuming the music, and to discuss Calypso, basically, the genesis of Calypso, the raison d'être of Calypso, and that is basically what the concept of the Calypso Day was based on. Um, Over the past few weeks, it has become, there's been so many suggestions coming in from other people from all about that we can do this, we should do that. With their different artists, promoters who want to do shows. Swinging Stars was the first one who stood up and said, "Hey, we're doing a jam on that day. We're doing a show," and I was very happy about it. I am still
Mhm.
very excited about it. But they being first in line, um, then another promoter says he wants to do a big show. So we figured, okay, we probably have it on another day, coming out of that weekend. So there may be a few more things that will be announced, hopefully, following Thursday. But for now, the focus is on the first event, which will be the Swinging Stars Calypso show at the Old Mill Cultural Center, which will be streamed live.
Mhm.
Streamed live. Well, everything I think is going to be streamed live right now. We living in a time where it's all about the internet. We live on the internet basically. So it'll be streamed live on Thursday. I think multisolutions.net. We will give more information as to the link that people can go. I think the show is only 10 US dollars for folks out there, and we can accommodate 150 people at the venue. The tickets is 30 EC. So the tickets are now on sale, and we're hoping that, well, with only 150 people, it shouldn't be too much of a problem selling those tickets.
Mhm.
So that's it. It's the COVID-19 time of our lives, and we just have to abide by the protocols and the rules and the regulations and so on. Hence the reason why it's only going to be 150 people, just like the Calypso competition was. So that's in a nutshell. The artists on that show would be Hunter, JD, Tasha P, Caressa, um, the Bob. When you see I start calling names, I get so scared that I leave anybody out.
Understood.
Yeah, you have the Bob, you have Sour Sour. There are 12 of us actually, and I think I've just about gotten to seven.
Mhm.
But there are 12 of us, and we will be putting on a big show on Thursday night at the Cultural Center at Old Mill. From about, I would say it's a working day in the middle of the week. I would say that show should start anywhere some by 8:30.
Mhm.
There's also a flyer out. I don't know if you have it, but I
Mhm.
will I will share that with you. The
Yeah,
flyers should have,
I'm sharing it right now on the screen for anyone who's watching the Facebook Live, and I'll
yes,
also
but
post it on my website.
good. But that flyer you have up right now is the generic one that does not promote
Mm.
any particular event on that day, but just making the people aware that that day is Calypso Day. That is the one from the Dominica Calypso Association.
Okay.
And if you see, my name is right there in the center of it, King Bob,
Mhm.
um, because I conceived the idea of the Calypso Day, as
Mhm.
I indicated earlier. So the Swinging Stars flyer is one that I will have to send to you
Mhm.
when we get off the line.
Yes, please do.
Yes, and the response has been tremendous so far.
Mm. Yeah, and I think it speaks volumes that people are interested in hair and calypso during the year. And Sam says calypsonians should also work on releasing at least singles outside the season. Produce albums like Guys Hunter has done it in the past. So maybe have a couple of guys release a couple of songs that maybe they had three songs that they thought of calypso season, and only two can be in the competition. So maybe have them release one during the year. Just some ideas, and we appreciate the ideas that everyone is throwing out in terms of how we can make calypso more popular during the year. And I think one of the obstacles, Bob, and let me know if you agree with me, is when the year was open. What would happen is the Calypsonians would maybe go to New York in the summertime, so then they were not available to perform in Dominica, But now with COVID-19, everything being shut down, there's the opportunity to be able to perform more in Dominica. So we need more shows.
Well, I think that has been an excuse by Calypso,
Mm,
because I mean they go up for Labor Day. Yeah, they're up there in late August to early September, and that's it. I myself have
mm,
been part of that, but it does not
mhm.
mean that we cannot do anything in our country. So that
Right.
has just been an excuse. We
Mhm.
have to put more effort in organizing ourselves. The events have to be organized early enough and so on. But in Dominica, we have the culture of thinking of things at the moment and executing at that same very moment. So I don't believe that being in New York has been an obstacle at all.
Right.
You
Okay.
know? Yeah.
hmm hmm So thank you for being here. So let's see, we have Mary Benjamin. She says, "Hi, Bob. Greetings. Love alone." I think we know who Mary is.
Oh yes,
Hi.
oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Hi, Mary.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Mary.
Ren.
Pleasure. And Mary, I appreciate the work you're doing in
Oh,
Dominica
me too. Me too.
with
Mary,
our
thank you for the
precious
great work
soul.
that you're doing.
Yeah. So,
Yes, absolutely. And then we have Renette Barron, and she says, once is Calypso is involved, Dominicans are always on point. So again, Bob, I want to thank you for being here with us and thank you for the hard work that you do promoting our culture. I see you on Creole Heartbeat with Wadix. Can you tell I'm a big Wadix fan?
well, that's good. That's good. That's
I'm
good.
like I'm like a Wadix stalker. Everywhere Wadix is, I'm there.
No, but what this gives you good content. What he educates
Yes.
you and he entertains you. So
Yes. I mean,
Wadix is a
Wadix
place to be
gives you
wherever he is.
what? Weddings give you good content and
Yeah.
it is age appropriate.
Yeah. Absolutely, all the time, all the time. So I
Yes.
think just to add to the point that you're making about releasing music before we
Mhm.
leave, um, I suspect that your organization and TDN may not be aware of my latest release. It's about a month, a little more than a month now since I released this new song.
Mhm.
If I had to live my life again, so
Yes.
I will have to send that to you.
Please do. I will play it
Yes,
on my program. Send it to
yes,
me.
yes.
Yes, yes. I
So
have
I
my
mean,
lineup for
more music to
tomorrow, but
come
I'll play it next week.
between now and November. There's going to be at least 3 or 4 new songs that will come out subsequently. So
Yeah.
yes, so I'm doing my thing. I understand what needs to be done, and most definitely, I have music already recorded, just waiting to be released.
Yeah, well, congratulations and thank you for all the work that you do. So, any final words for us as we get ready to wind up?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for your support, you and TDN,
Yes.
and keep doing what you're doing. I will do my best to ensure that more and more content is coming at you. More and more
hmm
events. You'll hear more about Calypso and Dominica music in general. I'm even going after Bouillon music and some of my own stuff. Like the new song I just released, if I have to live my life again, I'd leave it with you. That is outside of Bouillon and Kadas, but it's still there. The beat is still there. So
Right.
folks, keep supporting. I am sure if you support me and I have success, it will influence other artists to produce good work as well, and it will be very good for Dominica music in general. And I love you guys in the media. You are my best friends,
Thank
and
you.
I will keep doing what I can do to ensure that you have the content that you need.
Yeah, yes, and just wanted a thought to throw out there and something else maybe to consider. Maybe put in any workshops that you're doing on Facebook Live. If you're teaching the younger generation, how do you write a good calypso? Just kind of have more exposure
Mhm.
on social media so that we keep it in mind that, our culture is calypso.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's what I
absolutely.
say. Keep them coming. Keep them. I'm taking notes, and you will see some results.
Yes, and feel free to share any content with me. Oh, Alex just joined. I have to take Alex' comments, Bob. Where is the education component? How is a better awareness of the arts going to be promoted with unusual jam? What is in place to have a connection with students? So I think Alex is asking us about the importance of educating the next generation and keeping the art form alive. So, Alex, thank you for that comment.
Yeah, that's all in the pipeline. Making stops at the schools is something that
Mhm.
I intend to take on before the year is over. So, just give me the blessings, and things will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, thank you for being here and keep me posted on everything that you're doing. And I'll be more than happy to share on TDN Radio as well as my Push Past 10 platform on Facebook.
Thank you so much, Simon.
All right.
One
Thank you.
love.
Anytime. Yes, so everyone, thank you for being here for another Facebook Live presentation. We were just joined by Calypso King, Bob, the 2021 Calypso King, and he was telling us all about his efforts. And you know, that is one thing I have to say about King Bob. Whenever he has the crown, or even when he doesn't have the crown, he's always trying to find innovative ways to push the Calypso agenda. So I really want to thank him for stopping by, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot more social media presence of Calypso, because I firmly believe that is one of the ways we will be able to push the art form forward. Because as we can see in Trinidad, Calypso has taken a significant to the back burner, and you hear a lot more soca, and I enjoy the soca music as well, but Calypso is really our culture. It speaks to the heart of the issues that we face in Dominica. So we certainly want to see it continue to grow and continue to prosper. So as you continue watching the video and you share the video, thank you for sharing the video. I hope that we will have more comments on what we can do to make Calypso even more popular in Dominica. And I will be more than happy to relay the information to King Bob as you pass it along to me. So you have yourself a wonderful evening. Don't forget to join me tomorrow night on Q95 for Roots Connections on Q. Well, actually, Wednesday night, Roots Connection on Q, and tomorrow evening on TDN Radio for Untapped Potential. So I want to thank you as always for all your support. You know, we have a lot of work to do as Dominicans, but together we are so much stronger together, and we can move mountains. And Lord knows we have a lot of those in Dominica. So you have yourself a wonderful evening, and thank you for stopping by.